What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Yo, I'm looking
Richie
like
D,
you
what
from
up?
Bel-Air.
Yo, Rich, you looking good. I was just looking at you like, yo, my brother stepped his light game up so crazy.
You know what I mean?
You
You know
looking
what
good
I'm
over there,
saying?
Rich.
What's good?
It's quiet, it's quiet. Another Wednesday, man.
Another Wednesday, bro. Let's get it.
Yeah, like we got a lot to talk about today, kid. We got a lot to talk about. Shout to my man Joe Paul. I see my man Joe Paul on this side of the game. What up? Shout to all my movers. So,
What's
Rich, what
good?
up?
Man, same old, man. You know, just looking forward to the Wednesday conversation.
All right, so let's just jump right into it. Like real talk, we got a lot going on in the world. Um, yeah, we can start off on your people because this is easy. Yo, so I saw an interview with your man Safari. Did you catch that?
The shit that's on the internet.
Yeah, the joint is on. I don't know where he did it. I don't know. He was at radio, and they was talking about him and his girl, and Safari
Yeah,
was like,
I
what's
didn't
your
see that.
thoughts on that?
You know what's crazy? I tell people this all the time. I say people need to be careful what they wish for. Be careful what you ask for, and also don't just accept something because it's in front of you. Like, I think that they both, and I'm not like, listen, I don't have a dog in this fight. And I know people might try to make it to be something that it ain't. But you ask the question, I'm answering the question.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like sometimes people do things because they want to do it. It's time. They feel like it's time for them to do it. So then it becomes an insert person situation. Two people met at the right time to do something that they both were looking to do. And I don't think they went and did the due diligence on each other to find out if this is something that could actually last. Does that make sense?
Of course, it makes sense.
So in my mind, I'm feeling like, and it ain't no shade, it ain't no hate. I'm just feeling like if I want to be married and I meet a girl who wants to be married, or we want children, or a kid, in this case, a kid, I think that there's more to it than just having that dialogue because we need to see if we're compatible ourselves. Because once the baby's here or once we get married, there's still life to be lived. And I don't know if you can live that life if you haven't done your due diligence. You might be miserable. You might look at each other and be like, yo, we're not even compatible. But here we are married with child now. And how do we get out of that?
Nah, I talk about this all the time, Rich, and this is real talk because it's bigger than I know we talking about Erica, we talking about Safari, just because this is in the public right now, but people deal with this all like I call it insert man here or insert woman here. And right to what you was just saying, people they jam themselves up all the time. And see, I'm a man and I would like to believe I'm humble. I would like to believe I'm a good dude, but I got an ego like most men do. Like, I want to know that if I'm with a woman, it's because she chose me for me. It ain't because she was looking for a husband or she was like she done went through her life, did all of her whatever she was gonna do with her life, and now she's just looking for a man and she ready to settle down and she's ready to insert man here. And then Sean Prez come along and I go for the game and I think it's me, but I could have been Richie D. I could have been anybody. And I think a lot of what they're dealing with, and I can't speak for them, you know them, I don't. But so let's take it off of them. I think a lot of people don't do the due diligence. People will go out there and they'll research everything, like everything. If they go to buy something, they looking at the reviews. If they gonna travel somewhere, they looking to see if it got 5-star reviews. I'm not staying in that hotel. They do all of that. But for the people that they gonna be with, it's the craziest thing in the world. So now because somebody smile at you or because they take your phone call, now I'm in love. No, it's insert man here. And I'm just happy because I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to have a man. And this dude is here and he's available and he's taking me serious. And then 5, 6 months later, a year or two later, y'all come to realize that, yo, all that due diligence that I should have did up front, now the reality is coming out. And I don't even like this nigga. Or you looking at this girl and you like, yo, you know what? Like, real talk, if I met you today, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't even talk to you. Like, you're not even a chick that I would even talk to. But you too late into it. You got a baby or two. You done put a ring on her finger. Now you got to go through the courts. You jammed up. You got child support. Yo, I don't subscribe to that whole like. Take your time. Like that's where I'm from. And like I said, and this might just be a Sean Prez thing. I believe in real talk. Like I got an ego. If I'm with you, I gotta know you're with me. It could be 50 other dudes that trying to get in your ear. You ain't like for you. I'm Barack Obama. Nobody compares to me. And ain't nothing. You should feel that way about your man, and you should feel that way about your girl. Period. But that's my thoughts on it.
No, I 100% agree. I feel like people get to a time in their life, and like you said, it's insert man. It's more, the situation can't be bigger than your relationship. The moment that you're in can't be bigger than what you're trying to do, because it'll never work. Like, and then you speak to somebody's representative. When I say representative, that person on their best behavior, because you've never been in any incidents to see how they act. If you go rob a bank with somebody, you're going to know who that person is. Can they take the heat? If this shit go left, is he going to bust? There's a bunch, you know what I'm saying? Like, you do your due diligence on somebody. Like, you're just not walking into a bank with a stranger thinking that, oh, well, if he seemed like the type of nigga that's going to bust. You need to know. You need to know. So when you go into this, next thing you know, now in relationship terms, you have an argument. And she just is just abusive. Or he's abusive and he's just like talking crazy. It's like, oh my God, who is this person? We've never been in any situations together. We've never been in that place where you can say, oh, I know how when he gets pissed, I know what's going to happen. He's going to turn into this guy. But I'm cool with that. I can accept that. I can have that and still be okay with it moving forward in our relationship, because I know who he is. I signed up for this. When you start getting shit that you ain't signed up for, it's easy to bounce. It's easy for you to be like, yo, I'm out. This is crazy. I ain't dealing with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't signed up for this. Like, I ain't know. Girl, I almost smacked the shit out you just now. I gotta let you know. I gotta let you go, because I ain't know who that person was. So let me go take a walk and pack a bag and never, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want no problems like that. Like, so let me just, before this shit gets somewhere that neither one of us can come back from, let's just go our separate ways. But if you married and with kid, now there's other people and there's other shit involved, and it just becomes crazy. So yeah, I think we on the same page with that.
Yeah, nah, Rich. Before we move on, I just want to piggyback off that, because again, in maybe I am different than most do. I just don't believe in rushing like into nothing. Especially in relationships. I don't believe that you should. You got to learn the person, and I mean, put it this way: if you building a website or launching a new app, they do something called pressure testing, right? Making sure if a bunch of traffic come, that thing ain't gonna crash. It ain't. If you meet somebody yesterday, now that's your man today. Y'all got a kid tomorrow. You married a week later. Your joint ain't never been battle tested. This ain't never been pressured. You don't know what you're liable to do or he's liable to do when the fun done left the relationship. When now you roll over You looking at this, and it's like, oh, this is what you look like in the morning? Like the googly eyes is gone, all of that stuff. I'm just a big advocate. If this is the person you supposed to be with, take your time. What's the rush? Like literally, what is the rush? They gonna be here. There's no rush. But people act like I gotta lock this down. Now, here's the deal, right? I don't have a problem because I don't want to send missing signals out to the world. I don't have a problem being in a situation where it's monogamous. I don't have a problem being in like look, we gonna slow walk this thing. We ain't go like that. Don't mean I'm out here, you out there. And if that's what y'all agreement is, then so be it.
Right.
I'm just saying before you take these major commitments, if that's the person for you, they gonna be there anyway. Y'all gonna wanna be in each other's company. Nothing's gonna change if we jump the broom tomorrow or we jump the broom a year from now.
Correct.
But if you do that too quick, that's where the problems come in at. And we see it happen every day. We talked about marriage. We talked about kids. Like, give me your real thoughts. Like, ever since we've been doing this, I'm getting a lot of people hitting me on the side, as I'm sure you are too. And it's crazy because we started doing this just like taking our conversations that we would have on the phone and now just doing them live. I ain't even really think people was gonna listen in on this, but now people hitting me, as I'm sure they hitting you. Where do you stand with dating women with kids? And I'm gonna ask you this because you sent me, just in all transparency, you sent me a clip from Homeboy, Kevin Samuels. And he was ripping a chick to shreds. Now you didn't even know who that was. You genuinely just sent me a clip.
Yes. My man Lou sent me the clip. And he was like, yo, old boy, he didn't say Kevin Samuels or nothing. He just said, yo, Homeboy went in on this chick. And that's what the caption was. So I just literally, I didn't know who old boy was from a can of paint. I clicked on the clip and started watching it. And when you told me who he really is, when we spoke, and you were like, oh, that's the guru dude. That's the dude that be on YouTube or whatever. I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand why anybody would want to listen to somebody that you wouldn't want to be with. Like, that don't make no sense to me, bro. Like, I was baffled by this dude's conversation. What he was saying to this woman, you got kids. You 30-something years old. How you look when you wake up in the morning. You ain't never going to have nobody. If you were 5 when you wake up in the morning and you were 6 when you get your makeup on, why you think you supposed to have a 10? I'm like, wow. Nigga, is you sound like the basher. Like, you not somebody I'm coming to for advice. You sound like the nigga I'm running away from. And I did not, Prez, this shit killed me. I did not understand it, bro.
Yo, Rich, we got to point some things out here. And I know a lot of people in the live right now is females, right? You gonna track a lot of females off rip coming in on your live. So females, listen up. Rich just said something that is so hard, and I know it went over everybody's head. He said, why would you take advice from a dude you don't even want to be? Like, in real world terms, this is a dude, like, if that was your man belittling you, bashing you, just tearing down your self-esteem, every one of your friends would be telling you, leave this man. Leave him. Get away from him. He ain't no good for you. But I didn't even know who he was. Just like you didn't know who he was. And when I came and got put on to him, this dude, his following is all women. Y'all made him. Y'all are looking for advice. It ain't like I don't even know who he is. Rich don't even know who he is. And I'm sure he's saying some good stuff. So I don't want to knock him. I'm only going off the clip that we both seen. But women made him. And that is the most bizarre thing on planet Earth. If this is who you're getting advice from, it ain't like he got millions of followers who are men. It's y'all who are going to him. And he's not if what I seen is indicative of the advice he gives, women's self-esteem is shot out here. Like if this is what y'all are looking at and looking to for real relationship advice, y'all got more problems than we even like this is we need to do a therapy conversation or something.
Yo, no. First of all, how do you go somebody? First of all, I'm just trying to grasp all this because I have so many different directions I want to go in with this. Because I saw this shit. One, why would you go to somebody who is verbally abusive for aspiration? Why would you the way he had a person on, he had a woman on the thing, and the woman was like, he's like, yo, why would you he's almost asking her, why would you think you deserve that? Why do you think you deserve that? If you're 35 years old and you were 5 when you wake up and you were 6 when you put your makeup on and you got children running around the house, why do you think you deserve a good man? Now, why would any woman adhere to that? 1, 2, why would any woman even want to be in your proximity? Nigga, you giving off the worst energy of anybody. That's the worst energy. It's essentially saying you're washed. Why do you think you nigga, in layman's terms, this nigga literally told this woman, you're washed. Why do you think the nigga gonna fuck with you anyway? Go get and pick whoever you come your direction and be okay with that. Why would you sit on the phone and even entertain that conversation? If it was the other way around and I was the dude on the phone and a woman was saying those things to me, I would have banged on them. I'd have been like,
no question.
Go to hell, bang. Why in the world would I sit there and entertain the conversation and be attentive to this nigga who's killing me? It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So then, of course, I said, well, I got to find out who this is. So shout out to my man, Lou Johnson. Lou hit me up when he sent me the video. I had to call the nigga back and be like, who is this clown? Who is this clown, this misogynistic woman hater that's bashing this woman in this interview? And he was like, oh, that's the dude. That's that guy. He all the women go to him. He got a YouTube following niggas out here giving relationship advice. I said, my nigga, if that ain't the blind leading the blind, I ain't never seen no shit like it. And that interview that I sent you is just a microcosm of who he is because he does that shit all the time. That's his thing. That's his thing.
Nah, you know what his thing really is, Rich? Real talk. And again, I don't want to, if this is what y'all women are looking for, God bless you, right? Because he's speaking for quote unquote high value men. So me being and you being a high value man by definition, and I'm humble, and I say that in the most humble and respectful way possible. By his own definition of what a high value man is, we fit that profile. Stature, what's in the bank account, accolades, all of that. So, and I say this as humbly as I can. He don't speak for me. When he's talking about what a high value man is looking for, and what a high value man want, I gotta say, I haven't watched a lot of his stuff. I watched stuff that you sent me. I watched stuff that other people sent me. Not a lot, but I can honestly say, ladies, you are looking at two high value men. He don't speak for us. No way, shape, or form. Period.
No, I actually reject what the nigga said. I actually, in those interviews that I watched, I actually have completely different opinions of relationships and how they're supposed to be constructed and what one goes into. First and foremost, you should never go into a relationship wondering what a motherfucker look like. Because if that's your motivation, you will lose your mind on every block in New York City. You can walk through any street and see 5, 6 beautiful women in sundresses and heels with their hair done. You can go in any hookah bar and see 100 beautiful women. So if that's your motivation for your relationship, and this dude is saying that because you don't look up to par, because you're not who, that you don't deserve something, then he sounds like a complete fool. He's basically.
I don't think it's that they don't deserve it. I don't think that it's that they don't deserve it. If I'm right, he's saying they're not qualified to get it. They are qualified based on being average. They're qualified to get an average dude in terms of what a man bring home, how much money he got in the bank, what he drive, his assets, all of that. That's what I understand. And I could be off. But I don't think he's saying they don't deserve it. I think it's.
So he's basically laying out a criteria for which your dating pool. So if this is who you are, then you should play in this sandbox. If this is who you are, then you should play in this sandbox. So he's literally limiting women on what they can get, and men, and for that matter, men too, on what they can get in life. So fuck being a good person with a great heart and meeting somebody under the right circumstances and being there for them and all the other shit that goes along with relationships. If you are this and this is who you are, then you need to play in your sandbox, period. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's what I get. That's what I got.
Crazy. He's a fool. He's a clown.
No, listen to me, Rich. Listen, it ain't him. Cause he didn't make him. The millions of people, the legions of people who are tuned in week over week and listening to him, like that's the bro Bible, like that is the high value man guru. They are the fools. And I say that with utmost respect to every woman who's sticking their head in on his channel, on his live. He couldn't have, go ahead.
I got a question for you. So do women watch this dude because they're genuinely searching for advice? Or do women watch this dude because he's becoming a shock jock at this point? And some of the things he says are so left field that now you just have a debate, or you can argue with him, or you just being nosy, or you just want to hear what this stupid nigga says next. Because there's like, it's like a person who sold, like for instance, let's just go back to music. We both music people. If you have a music, people might follow you not because of your music. They might follow you because you're crazy, because you wear crazy shit, because you wear beautiful clothes, because you wear sneakers. You could have a fan base for a bunch of different things. But when it comes time to actually sell records or give advice, nobody's really trying to hear your advice. They just kind of follow you because of the personality that you've become. Is he becoming that personality that people are not really listening to? Because I'm seeing petitions and shit that's trying to get rid of this dude.
Okay,
they had
so
something on the Shade Room, one of them blogs that said the dude had like a 70,000 person petition to get him off of TV, off of YouTube, because people ain't listening to him. So I don't know. I feel like he could be taking advantage of a platform that he started to give advice, but now it's just become some shit where he knows that he can log in and people are going to be there to argue and debate with this clown all day and night. So I don't
Well, out of respect for him, I know you calling him a clown. Let's not even do that, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead.
He's one man, it's one opinion, right? So let's start there. I think his opinions are clownish. I don't understand it because you damn sure ain't speaking for me. And like I said, we are the men that he's quote unquote speaking for, high value men. So I don't get it. Do I think he's part shot jock? Absolutely. But the clip you sent me and the clip I saw before, they're calling in asking for advice. So no, it's not just them being entertained. They're looking for a way to figure out how can I get not just any man, but a high value man. Now check it. We got to switch this conversation around because we've been talking about him, but we need to talk about these women. First and foremost, by his definition, a high value man is a six-figure dude, six-figure, seven-figure, eight-figure dude, whatever it might be, well-cultured, well-traveled, this, that, and the third. All the things you are, right? Are we not mad at these women? Like, nigga, I don't want no chick. Like, love me for me. Love me when I'm broke and I'm ambitious, trying to get to that next level. But don't think you like the fact that they even calling in saying, I want a six-figure man. Like, how dare you? That to me is just as infuriating and as shallow as any answer he's giving them. So technically we can look and say, yo, homeboy giving you exactly what you deserve because whatever happened to, I want a man who loved me first, who when he see me, he don't see nobody else. He's marriage potential. He's a great father. He's hardworking. He's all of those things. They're literally asking, how do I find a man? I want a man who makes six figures, seven figures. That's what they're asking for first. And then when he come back and he hitting them with body blow, and damaging their self-esteem, a man don't want you in your 30s. A man don't want you got a teenage kid. A man don't want you don't wear size 4. A man don't want you because you whatever. Does a woman who called in asking for that not deserve it?
All right. So you just enlightened me because his aggression comes off as if what makes you so now if a woman comes on this phone line and she says, oh, I deserve this and this is who I am and I need this. And
no, she's saying I want this. I want this.
This is what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, maybe he's saying the same thing we saying just differently. If you come into a relationship and you're thinking monetarily, or you're thinking about what this dude can do for you, then maybe he's the other guy that's saying, since you come in here acting with such high hopes and with such high aspirations and you want this, maybe you need to fit the bill of what you're asking for. And if he's saying that, if a woman walked in my house right now and she said, yo, what's up? Like, why are we watching TV? Why are we watching Netflix? Why are we not going to Aruba? Why are we not doing this? Then the conversation becomes differently. Like, oh, so that's what you're here for? So if you're here for that, what makes you think you should be, you qualify for that? So if that's where he's coming from with it, then I understand his aggression to some degree. But it still becomes, why would a woman go on that platform to virally spar with somebody about what you deserve in your life? So, I mean, it all comes back to the same thing for me, and that's the woman.
It really does. I mean, to me is I think the women are saying what they want, what they're hoping for, as opposed to what they deserve. Um, but be it as it may, and this comes to our earlier conversation, kid, you gotta know, you gotta know what you're getting in bed with. And I don't mean that literally. I mean it figuratively. Like, I would be pissed off if me, Sean, being the kid that I was, years ago when I was dumb ambitious and I knew it was only a matter of time before I caught my stride and I was gonna make my mark and I was gonna make my money. I would be I would be so disgusted if I had a woman who back in them days when I had the one bedroom with the bed, no other furniture, all of that stuff, and talk about why we ain't in Aruba. Like, come on, man. But again, I wouldn't bring that kind of person into my life. I would do my due diligence, unless I was just out here for another reason to smash or something, and then she got to go anyway. But nah, like, ladies, if your number one criteria is a six figure, a dude who bringing home $500,000 a year, seven figures, if that's number one on your list, then you kind of deserve whatever come with that. And a lot come with that. And I would say the same thing for a dude. If his number one criteria is a big butt, is she got to be a red bone, she got to have hair down to her ankles, she got to look a certain way, the nigga, whatever come with that, you got to deal with that. So if she want to be in the club all night, because according to homeboy, he's like, yo, the younger chicks, they can still pull the older dudes, and these older dudes are the ones that's making the money. So okay, older men, which I am, if what he's saying is right, which I don't buy into, but if what he's saying is right, and now I got to go out there and get a 20-year-old that don't have stretch marks, don't have dimples in her butt, don't have cottage cheese, never had a baby, no stretch, none of that. But I got her, and she looked good on my arm. But I'm tired. When I'm done with a day's work, I want to go home and I want to watch TV. I like the Netflix and chill. I like to be in the crib. But if she talking about on a Monday night like we used to do, I want to be in the club. It's time to turn up. I want to get lit. And I can't keep up with that. And now I got to worry about every time her phone go off, I'm nerved out because it's a bunch of other dudes looking at what I got with the same motivation that I had for getting her, which was 100% based on shallow intentions. Then I got to eat that. It go both ways. So men got to eat that same thing too if you go into a situation with the wrong motivation. Just like if the woman you come into it and all you concerned about is what he currently has in his bank account, then whatever come with that, which is a bunch of other chicks just like you got to eat
it. And that's just the facts. That's the facts. You put your own energy in the atmosphere, my friend. You put your energy in the atmosphere. If you put this energy out there, that's what's gonna come back to you. That's what's gonna come back to you. And like you say, yo, you're absolutely right. If you are chasing somebody else's money, then he probably is spending that money on multiple people. So you got to eat that. So if you go into a situation which your motivation is not, if your intentions are not pure or the purest of the pure, then you're probably going to bring that same energy back. And I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you because you're bringing back exactly what you put out there. You go how you come. If you come in like a trick, you're going to look like a trick. You will always be a trick. If you come in on the love and the relationship and the understanding and all the other things that go along with a good relationship, then you'll probably stand on that. That's probably, you can't come in like a trick and then try to change it up, because you set expectations, you set the precedent. You set for what this, when you first start your relationship, you set what this relationship boundaries are, what this is going to be, what we're doing. It's not by your proxy, but by your demand. So you don't got to write it down. It's just by your actions. You set that precedent. And if you can't keep up with what you set up, and if she don't want you no more because you can't go how you came, then y'all both deserve each other.
Yo, Rich, I was gonna let this go, but I gotta stay on this topic right now because I'm reading some of the comments as you talking. Do you know chicks is actually in the comments saying, yo, and this is to, and I don't even know what your name is, but they write in the comments, yo, women want security. So, and security come in all different forms. So if it come in the form of money, then we good with that. I give up. Like, ain't nothing wrong with security. Ain't nothing wrong with security. But money ain't the only form of security. That nigga not sleeping with your sister, that's a form of security, knowing that he is locked into you. And the minute you turn your head, he not trying to jump in bed with your best friend. Like, it's a lot of forms. Right. If money is your own, if that's your number one criteria, then I'm going to tell you like this. You jammed up from the gate. I wish you the best. I hope you go out there and you get a baller. I hope you go out there and get one of these corporate meatball dudes who the dude been corny all his life, but he making money and he just happy to have you, and he won't look at another woman because he actually think that you upgraded him even though he making this money. If you can find that cornball, go get him. But if you are dealing with some real dudes, if you're dealing with some real dudes who getting women ain't never been a problem for them, or if just by virtue of what they do, maybe they was corny in their past life, and now getting chicks who are dimes and better ain't a problem for them because everybody got that same, stability, I want money mentality, then whatever comes with that, you got to eat it. And I don't want you on the gram, and I don't want you talking to your best friends, and I don't want you putting up posts hollering about, all men are dogs. You knew what you was getting before you got it. Oh, check it. Now, can we switch subjects quick? Are you ready to go?
Absolutely.
Again, man, in that same post, and I just think it's something that needs to be spoken on. In the same post that you sent me, that homeboy did, he was talking about women with kids. Dudes don't want women with kids. Well, high value dudes, in his opinion, don't want women with kids. Where you stand on that? I mean, I got my own feelings on that. And he might have a point, he might not, but where do you do a woman who bring kids to the table, do she got a chance?
First, let's state the obvious. First, let's state the fucking obvious. You would have limited the dating pool to 0.00000% if you really think you're finna find a woman that ain't got a child. That dating pool is almost zero. So now, with that being said, I have different feelings about dating women with children versus being around said children. You meet a woman, you meet her at a club, you meet her in a restaurant, you meet her in a grocery store, you meet her at church, whatever the case may be. You should know everything she has going on with her. You should know essentially you know what you're signing up for. So I don't have a problem dating women with children. I have children. So, I mean, at the same time, I look at relationships and I say, what if women say, I don't want to date niggas with children? There would be nobody to be dating. The dating pool would be so right now. There would be nobody out here the economy would be shitty. No movies, no dinners, no hookah, no nothing. Now, with that being said, every man, because you're dating them, doesn't need to be around your child. You need to know this man. You need to have vetted this man. You need to have a clear understanding that this man is somebody you want around, not just around, but around your children. Because kids are very, 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 they look up to adults. And new people coming around, they grow attached quickly. So don't set your children up for failure. Don't set yourself up for failure by having multiple people around. That's something that is very, very, very sacred. Your child should be very, very, very sacred. And until I am absolutely your man, I shouldn't be around your kid, because that creates a whole different type of confusion that I don't think that any child should have to go through. So the women with the women with children, bro, it's 2021. Like, that nigga, he needs to stop it. But
Yo,
tread lightly with your children. Does that make sense?
okay, it made perfect. Yo, Rich, like, again, these are the calls we have offline. And I'm so happy we just keeping it 100 and doing this live. Like, here's the crazy thing, right? Be careful who you get your advice from, ladies. Be careful, because, and I say this because even dudes with the best intentions, maybe their advice is wrong. And what I mean by that is, Steve Harvey got rich, writing a book, Be a Woman, Think Like a Man, some craziness. And one of his rules of the game was, if a dude don't ask to meet your kids in the first month or two of dating him, then he ain't marriage material. He ain't into you. That couldn't be further from, that is the most dumbest, asinine, crazy advice that any man can give to a woman. To a woman.
Steve Harvey said that?
Steve Harvey, actually, it's in writing, it's in his book. I thought it was the craziest thing years ago because I couldn't understand it. I was like, yo, the kids are sacred. Like right now, like truth be told, for 3 straight weeks we've been doing this, 4 straight weeks we've been doing this. I've been talking about Jennifer Lopez. And here's one more reason I get to talk about Jennifer Lopez. Nigga, you just had A-Rod co-mingling with your children, his children, your children. Now you going on play dates with Affleck, Ben Affleck, his children. Like, these kids are confused. Like what is their relationships gonna look like? You don't bring and I'm gonna keep it so real with you, Rich. If a girl wanted me to meet her kid early, if I'm out there dating and she try to slide little man or little miss around me, we ain't got nothing to talk about, because your moral compass is so off. Like I don't want to meet your kids until I know me and you are like this. We gonna be together. So, ladies, because a dude, and here's the deal, right? It's a lot of grindball dudes out there that this is their G. I want to meet your kids. Like I love kids. Like, first and foremost, don't nobody love nobody else's kids off the rip. Like, let's just call it what it is. I don't know little Tommy. I don't know him. The kid, while I'm trying to talk to your mother, he banging my feet with Tonka toys. Like, you just leave me alone for a second. But if a dude is stressing you, because women get jammed up on this too, Rich, and they don't realize that this is just G. This is just a dude hit with that game. I want to meet your kids. If a man tell you that, and y'all been dating for 2 weeks, when I'm gonna meet you, when I'm gonna meet little Tommy, he the wrong one for, like, I don't want to make a blanket statement, but I'm confident enough to say he probably ain't the right one for you. That is the G if I ever heard, because he know that's what a woman want to hear. She want a nigga to take her kids in, because she heard her whole life people say, yo, No man don't want a woman with kids. So all he got to do is go in, turn it around, and I want to meet your kids. And now, just like all them hearts is coming up on the side of this Instagram, this is what's going on in her real life. The heart's going up, and she's jammed up because now she's locked into this dude. She done gave up the butt, and he knew all along, like, yo, I was never gonna be with you long term. But if I had to say that to get to the next step, then I'm gonna do what I. So, ladies, don't fall for the G and that Steve Harvey crap. Like, burn that book. If you got that book on the side of your nightstand and you reading that, and he got that old man advice in there, let that go.
I think these dudes, like, you can only think like yourself. And that's the problem with the Steve Harveys and the other people that do this kind of deal. They can only think like themselves. So if you ain't bouncing nothing or have somebody with you that has a different mindset, then you're only really preaching from your mindset. And you're only dealing with your demographic. The people who are listening to you think like you. So y'all are all just basically preaching. You preaching to the choir because they're here because they think like you. So there is no open dialogue. There is no learning. You just basically confirming what I already thought, and that's what makes you right. That's what makes you right, and 100% of the time is when you confirm what I already think is right. Even if we both wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm glad the way we do it because we don't agree on everything. But if I can sit on this live with you, or we can talk on the telephone, and you say, yo, Rich, you bugging, nigga, you crazy for that. And I'd be like, why am I crazy? And you'd be like, A, B, C, D, D. Oh, shit, you know what, Sean? You right. I am bugging. Oh, shit, now I can add that to my repertoire of being a good person and actually apply that shit, and now I have a different train of thought. That's what I'm saying. Like, Steve Harvey, you talking from a 67. How old is Steve Harvey? He got to be 60-something years old.
I don't know how old he is. And
he's giving 21-year-olds advice, and this nigga was living in the Prohibition. This nigga was living in the antebellum South. this nigga was a whole Selma March. And like, you talking to people in 21, the game is different now. So I don't understand. Like, I understand the popularity of people. I understand the celebrity of people. I understand that you might look at Rich Dollaz and be like, that nigga creep, man. I ain't never listened to nothing you say. But the more you come on this live, you're going to be like, wow, these two niggas really talk the truth. They talk their truths, which ain't always mutually exclusive. You have your thoughts, I have my thoughts. And we are saying things that may not agree with one another. So we always going to have more than one point of view. And that's the beauty, to me, that's the beauty of this. And what the other dudes don't have is that they just spewing off how they feel. And nigga, how you feel ain't got to be right. Who the fuck is you? Because you wrote a book don't mean you wrote the book.
Nah, I mean, you know, and you bring something up, and I guess it's worth saying. We just two dudes. My advice might not fit with whoever's listening. It might not align with your value system and your morals and this, that, and the third, but it's showing truth. Same thing with Rich. Like I said, this is conversations, whether we on live or not, we having with one another and laughing and joking and debating and going back and forth on our views. So don't take my stuff as gospel, but what you can take it as, it is, when I speak from my heart, whether I'm doing this or I'm doing my motivational speak, whatever. And trust me when I tell you, like, some of the stuff that's out there is just so crazy and so backwards, and I don't know how women are eating this up and thinking they're getting good advice just because it's coming from some self-help guru or whatever. Some of these dudes is putting themselves out there. Yo, Rich, you know something? Well, no, I'm not proclaiming we know no gurus, but you know, I don't
proclaim they gurus.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. You sent me one clip. We don't know what this dude is proclaiming.
Wow.
So I don't want to put words in the man's mouth. Yo, Rick, let somebody in this conversation, kid. We got anybody trying to get in the conversation?
Who we got out here?
We've been talking for a while.
Who we got out here? Yo, send me some requests to get in the live. But don't come on, no dudes coming on here with your shirt off, the wife beaters laying down on the couch with strobe lights and shit. And women don't come on here if you ain't over 18 years old.
That's real talk. Yo, it's so crazy too.
Did I see Miss Jones in here?
If Jonesy's in there, please let her in the conversation. I would love your.
Jonesy, send me a request.
Yo, Rich, every time you speak, I get a chance to read the comments. We was just talking about Steve Harvey and his old man advice. But girls is in the comments calling his daughter goals. This world is so mixed up.
Lori Harvey, right? Lori.
Yes, I'm okay. Give your thoughts on that. Here's the deal. Would you wife her? You and me is in two different worlds. Like some of the chicks that you knocking down, I wouldn't touch, and that's okay. So maybe she more your speed. So this question is more applicable to Rich. Would you what is homeboy's name that's wifing her right now? I forget the guy's name. There you go.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. Is this woman goals from your standpoint?
Okay. So this is why Lori Harvey is goals.
Please educate me. I'm just old man Prez.
That's tricky. Lori Harvey is a beautiful girl. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful girl. Lori Harvey is goals for women because she's moving how dudes move. It seems as though she's moving without real emotion. Like she's moving and it's like if it works for her, it works for her. If it don't, she out. And she could possibly be with somebody else tomorrow. Which means that there was probably overlap with these dudes. But she's moving in and out of these relationships and people are looking at her as if she's living her best life from a standpoint of this is how dudes move. We don't normally see women move like this. We don't really see women who and she's not getting bashed. People are buying her stuff and she moved on to the next and she went from Future to the next guy to the next guy. And I can't even tell you these dudes. But I feel like women are like, almost like it's goals because I'm living vicariously through you. I'm seeing how you moving, girl, and I can't move like that, but Joe, I appreciate what the fuck you doing for the culture. That's how women feel about it. In my opinion, because she's beautiful, she always fly, her pops is dumb rich, so she don't need no nigga for nothing. And she's moving through these dudes on some like, it ain't work out, I'm out of here. It ain't work out, I'm out of here. And women emotionally don't normally put it out there like they move like that or they aspire to move like that. But they live vicariously through her. To me.
Okay, so again, I mean, and that's good. That you just educated me. I see, and this is I'm older. I don't want the way she moving. I told you earlier, that's that insert man here. So how a dude can take that serious? Like I get from a woman's point of view, maybe she's goals because she's moving like a dude move. I get it. But from a man's standpoint, I could never, if I ever had a woman in my presence and she come up to me, I don't care if she the baddest woman on planet Earth, and I just saw you jump, leapfrog from this one to that one to that. Forget the fact that these are all public figure dudes. But she is just jumping in and out of relationship. And she in love today with this one. She in love tomorrow with that one. She in love next week with this one. What kind of nigga got such low self-esteem to even think that this is about me and not
Okay.
about help me out here because I couldn't sleep good at night. If I'm literally and when I say wifing her, I mean she's the one. We holding hands. I'm claiming her. She's somewhere on my social feed. I would look in the mirror and be so mad at Sean and be like, is your self-esteem this low that you know this ain't about you? Because she done claim to love 6 other dudes once a month for the last 6 months. So what makes you think you're that special? I can understand from a woman's point of view, hey, she's moving like a dude. But from a dude's point of view, I gotta question these dudes, man. Whether they got money, and just because you got money, it don't mean you confident. It don't mean you a fly dude. It don't mean none of that. It just mean you a nigga with money. Period.
Right. Right. Who that?
Okay. What up? What
Josie!
up? My God! What up, Josie? You
I love the
enjoying this,
comment.
Josie?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Rich, what's up? I said, when Kappa Alpha Psi meets Phi Beta Sigma, damn.
Exactly. Exactly.
The conversation is so intense. I love it. I appreciate you both for being honest and being profound and touching on stuff from a real perspective, like in layman's terms. Um, I don't think I'm qualified to join in the Harvey girl conversation based on the fact that Nori said that if I was the Harvey girl back in the 90s, I'd be legendary. But here's the thing. I feel like when you are an adult and you are able to level with yourself and you are able to make decisions that whether they turn out right or they turn out right, you can only have yourself to blame and you walk away and you've grown from it, do the work, and then you move on. I think it's okay. I actually think we're required to do that rather than throwing all our eggs in one basket and and believing that whole Cinderella story that we're fat little girls, that only one of us can have the prince and only one of our feet fit the slipper. If you're not chosen, you're not good enough. That shit has been indoctrinated in our minds as little girls. So I'm fighting against that every chance I can get. But again, there has to be a lot of work constantly being done.
Sean?
Okay, so no, I got a question for you, Jonesy.
Yeah.
You're an older woman now. You're a mother. If you're talking to your younger self about relationships, if you're talking to your younger self about how to move, in your case, you was in the industry. What is it? A room full of vultures. What advice are you giving to your younger self? Because technically, your younger self is now the Lori Harveys,
Yeah.
right? So, what advice are you telling all these women who are saying she's goals, knowing what you know now? You saying, nah, live your life, go, or do you have a different perspective being a
So
mom?
I've grown, but remember when I got in my mom and my dad had both just died, and I was literally in these streets alone, trying to find my way through an industry, trying to find myself through life, and I had nothing. I was always fighting for my life.
Hmm.
My parents always told me not to rush and have a baby, to wait until I was married, that old fashioned shit. And that old fashioned shit is why I wound up not having my first kid until I was 36. I didn't get married until I was 40, and neither relationship worked because that old fashioned shit ain't necessarily what it is today. I should have lived with my ex-husband before I married him instead of trying to do it the right way, because nowadays you have to be able to know if you can be compatible living wise with someone, your ideals match up before you go jump into that marriage, the carriage, and the so a lot of that old fashioned shit, our parents did the best they knew how. But it just doesn't fit in the it's a circle, but it don't fit in this circle nowadays.
Yeah, Jonesy, I don't know if you was listening when we first got on, but we literally, I promise you on everything, we had that same exact talk and we gave the same exact advice to the T.
I'm glad. Like, that's so real. Like, I tried to do the right thing. I tried to not, bring a man around my child because no, I want to do it right. And it's still fucked up. Now, I think a lot of that also was because I I, I just wanted the day. I knew that he probably had never uh, raised a family and didn't know what one looked like. Maybe not even interested because I was the breadwinner. So even knowing that, if I'm completely honest with myself, because I wanted that day, I wanted to be on Hot 97, morning show host, gets married, finally isn't a baby mom. I fell victim to all of that shit, and I wanted to make it clean for myself. And look what happened. Now, the good thing that I did was I had a prenup. But again, why you had a prenup, nigga? Because you knew something in your head told you that there's some things here that may not be long term. So I wasn't honest. I wasn't completely honest with myself, and I wanted his gifts and not necessarily him. I wanted his gift of him being my husband, and his
Right.
gift of making me a wholesome woman. You know, you live and you learn.
That's so
Nah,
real.
that's
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 it. Go ahead,
nah,
Rich.
that's real shit. That's real shit when you have a situation and you trying to live the storybook life, but sometimes life ain't the storybook. So you live and you learn from the mistakes and you keep it moving because quite frankly, I don't think nobody in this chat room or definitely nobody, the three of us can actually sit here and say we moved through life without fucking trial and error.
Oh no.
Like, what's your favorite shit, Sean? Sean used to say this to me every fucking week. Yo, bro, I will never fire you from Bad Boy Records if you make 100 million mistakes. Just don't make the same one twice. Just don't make the same one twice.
That's admirable.
That's it. As long as you learning from your shit, then nobody can tell you nothing.
So that's how I feel about the younger girls now. Just make sure that when you out here navigating in these streets, be aware of the reality of the false reality, the made for TV shit, and the real life shit when you making these decisions that are gonna be lifelong decisions because you don't want to wind up like me. I mean, my life ain't fucked up like that, but I'm just saying,
Right.
my life ain't fucked up at all. I'm just saying.
Now you
What you know
you in a
now,
good place. Go ahead, Rich.
nah, I'm saying what everybody knows now allows you to have the hindsight is always going to be 2020, right? And the decisions you made are always you can always look back and say if I had done this differently, but you might not be Jonesy right now. So I mean, you know what I mean? It's like the decisions you make is make you who you are tomorrow and 20 years from now. So
Right.
you just got to eat it.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to be like, well, you know what? I fucked up, but it is what it is, and here I am.
Right. You're right. And I can be okay with that because we all fuck up. We all don't always want to admit it, but we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Nobody knows what the fucking holy grail of perfection life is. You just gotta you just gotta keep throwing shit on your back and learn how to even when it's trauma, because we're born into trauma and we are so used to, as a culture, just fighting through, have the baby and go back and pick some more cotton and have another baby and pick some more. We're so used to it, we don't even recognize it when it shows up in our day-to-day lives.
Woo!
So my one wish for the younger Jonesy or the younger generation, recognize your trauma and don't get comfortable with it. Don't get comfortable with it. Don't let that shit become a part of you. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. You ain't got to tell people that you're talking to somebody. Talk to somebody, because sorting your shit out, it might just be a matter of you sorting your shit out and saying, wow, this is that trauma showing up again. I didn't even realize. I thought I was past that. It goes a long fucking way.
Yo, I tell you this. Yeah, we coming up on an hour. Or we just passed an hour, Rich. Let's shut it down. Jonesy gave her one wish. What is your one wish for anybody who's looking in on this in this chat right now, peeping in on this live? What's the takeaway?
I think this for me, I think it's important to not judge a book by its cover. I think it's extremely important to not judge a book by its cover, because that's what this is all about, is actually getting to know somebody and making conscious, educated decisions. So, for instance, you see Richie Dollars on Love and Hip Hop. You might like him, you may not, but you don't know him. You know what you see in 1 hour on a Monday night. So until you actually have a conversation with that dude, until you actually get to know that dude, then you really can't judge that dude, because you don't know what you saw. You don't know what you saw. And that's how relationships, for me, should be for everybody. You saw a dude in the club for 20 minutes. You don't know what you saw. Might look good, might like him, might not. But that ain't who that dude is. Rest in. Please believe the dude who's drinking Grey Goose or Hennessy over in the corner with all his boys and the jewelry and all that shit. That's not who that dude is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you might want to get to know that dude at 2 o'clock in the afternoon before you just co-sign and sign your life away to dude that's at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. Two different people.
I guess I'll leave everybody on this. My wish for everybody, number one, is I wish y'all come back next Wednesday when we do this again. But real talk, like high value, low value, all that's BS, y'all. Like truth be told, listening to you, Jonesy, and you talking about, we live, we learn, we make mistakes. That let's stick to that word value for a second. People don't value, like you got to look yourself in the mirror and value that person looking back. We will make so many less decisions the day that we look at ourselves and know we deserve, not I want, but I deserve more out of this life. I value me enough that I'm willing to wait, that I'm willing to. I just wish for everybody who's watching this, who's still with us, value yourself, and that will govern your decisions, whether it's in business, personal, relationships. And I think it's okay to make mistakes. We all, I'd have made far too many of them. But one thing I can honestly say is I do value myself, and I'm not letting nobody tell me what I'm not worthy of. There's just no way that you gonna ever convince me that I ain't worthy of a certain kind of woman. It ain't no way in the world you gonna tell me that I'm not worthy of a certain dollar figure in the bank. It's just because I value Sean, and I hope and pray that everybody feels the same way about themselves. And if you don't, get to work on it. Simple as that. Peace and love, y'all.
Yo, next week, 7 o'clock, we do it again.
Jonesy, I want you on my.
Let's do it. All right, y'all.
Bye, guys. Love you, Prez.
Love you, girl.